According to some recent data, a large number of millennials are experiencing buyer's remorse. Here to talk more about it is the president and CEO of Wilsey Wilsey Asset Management, Brent Wilsey. Brent, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you as well.
Great to see you. So tell us about millennials. They are buying, or they're renting, or they bought, now they're upset that they bought?
All the above.
Okay.
And actually, they're, I think, a smart generation, because I've never been a big proponent of buying houses, because when you start doing it, you really realize, like, wow, there's some problems here. What millennials have realized, and actually 63% of them bought a home, they regret it because they then realize, like, well, wait a minute here. I didn't know that I had to have, maintenance and repairs and stuff on the home. And about 12% said it was a poor investment. About 8% didn't like the higher payments they had. And we got to realize, Logan, that this is what I call the Uber generation. This generation, they like to move around a lot. They don't really buy anything. They rent their bikes. They rent, scooters. They're a whole different generation. And I think they're pretty smart, because sometimes buying a home can be rather costly.
Does it depend where you buy it, obviously, and what the price is, and maybe how you buy it?
Well, that's part of it, but the problem with home ownership is that with home ownership, there does come a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of them don't want to be tied down on Saturdays cutting the grass and trimming the thing. And if they pay landscapers, well, that costs more money as well. They're used to living in these nice apartment complexes. Gosh, my son lives in one, and I'm thinking about moving there. I mean, they got a movie theater, they got all these pools. I mean, they've done a great job to where, why do I want to be tied down with a home? And especially if I get a great job in, we'll say, LA or New York, now I got to sell that home again. So they're a pretty smart generation.
What does it mean for people who maybe want to buy a home and rent it out, or a condo or something? Are there some opportunities for people who maybe want to rent to a millennial?
That's a whole other segment, because that's a whole different thing you do. There's a lot of problems you get into being a landlord, especially in California. So many laws and regulations, and you're the bad guy because you're the landlord. So I have clients that actually have done that, and they regret it. Some like it, but it's another job for you, what it actually is. But what has actually happened is that a lot of these millennials are actually renting. And Freddie Mac said about 82% of people now say that it's more affordable to rent than to buy, and that's up from 62% last year. So a lot more renting going on than buying.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? It's just a generational thing? I mean, we were talking earlier, and you just mentioned they don't buy a bike, they rent it. They don't buy a car, they Uber. They don't buy music, they Spotify.
Right.
I mean, everything's just disposable. And I've also read that they're more interested in buying an experience, say a trip or something, versus some possessions.
Yes. And that's all true. And actually what we kind of look at is that, because we have a home builder in our portfolio, and the cost of homes are going up because labor's more expensive, land's more expensive, materials, there's a lot of regulations to build a home, and a home builder, their demand is so high that's causing the prices to rise. And millennials are just saying, gee, it's too expensive to buy a home. I don't think I'm going to do that. So good demand. I think this will change as time goes on. But also remember, a lot of millennials still have student debt that they're trying to pay off. So they're just not ready. Rising child care costs and stuff, they're just not ready yet, and they just want to be more flexible. But it's changing. And Logan, I got to say, too, that the way they buy is so different. When I grew up, you had to go to the open houses. You'd go check out the neighborhood. Millennials, about 57% look on social media, very active there.
Sure.
Only about 30% go check out the neighborhood before they buy.
Yeah, you can see virtual tours. You can see all the photographs. You can see where the map, shows it is, different areas. Are millennials investing in the stock market? Are you finding that? Or maybe they just don't have as much money to invest?
Yeah, some are actually investing in the stock market, and hopefully in their 401ks. I numerous times, I say the 401k is the best thing you can do. Even if your employer doesn't match, still a great thing to do. So some of them they do seem to have more capital and more money. So they are investing more, but they want to be flexible. And they're different than my generation, the baby boomers.
Sure. Brent Wilsey, Wilsey Asset Management. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Logan.
Appreciate you coming on.
All righty.